I don't know about you guys, but when you hear someone has a moniker that is hoodworm, would you trust that person? My answer would be yes, totally. Because I'm talking about the Austrian YouTuber and video producer Kapuzenwurm, which pretty much is the German equivalent to hoodworm. A really, really cool name. Don't know if you could hear that, but someone actually honked twice because they approved. And because some of you might know that this channel is mainly about teaching some German terms, German grammar, and even some German varieties when it comes to the language and linguistics, today we're gonna take a closer look at German and Austrian German, the type of German, the variety of German even, which people speak in Österreich, Austria. So let's give it a go. And just so you know, I deliberately won't react to the full video because you're supposed to watch his video as well, the complete one, the full length of this endeavor, linguistically speaking. So in this video, Kapuzenwurm from Austria, so he's Austrian, is teaching some Austrian German to his girlfriend. I have to admit that I don't know too much about Austrian German and certain different expressions, certain different terms, but I really, really love the sound of people speaking Austrian German. I really, really do. So I'm really curious, hope you are too. Let's begin in 3, 2, 1... Null.
Hallo meine kleinen Sprachmäuschen, schön, dass ihr wieder da seid.
Sprachmäuschen, oh that is cool. Language mice.
Wer mich von euch schon ein bisschen länger kennt, der weiß, dass ich ursprünglich aus Österreich komme. Genau genommen aus Wien. Die Noah nicht.
Okay, so
die
he's
Noah
from
kommt
Vienna.
aus Deutschland, aus Duisburg. Das heißt, oft ist eine riesengroße Sprachbarriere zwischen uns und ich verstehe oft gar nicht, was die Noah von mir überhaupt will. Seitdem ich in Deutschland bin, verwende ich viele Wörter, mit denen ich groß geworden bin, nicht mehr, weil man mich nicht versteht. In Österreich sagt man Gelse zu Mücke. Ja? In Deutschland versteht dich dann keiner.
Yeah, that is true. Gelse? I mean, I guess, you know, Germans could mistake it for Gänse if they wouldn't listen properly, and they misheard that. So, Gelse. Never heard of that, actually. Interesting. In German, it's die Mücke, singular, die Mücken, plural, the mosquito. Is it then Gelsen with an N at the end in plural? I don't know. Maybe you guys can tell us more, or maybe even Putzi can tell us more, which is his moniker. Like the moniker of his moniker Kapuzenwurm is Putzi.
In Österreich sagen wir zur Sahne Schlagobers. Schlagobers, weil man es schlagt und woher der Obers kommt, weiß ich auch nicht.
Oh, that is interesting that he also doesn't know where Obers comes from, like the suffix of that term, but Schlag, like the first part of it or the prefix, however you want to call it, that actually reminds me of die Schlagsahne, which is a typical type of Sahne, which, you know, Sahne you actually stir until it gets like all fluffy but hard, if that makes sense. Die Schlagsahne, singular, and die Sahne, singular. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I've heard somewhere that, especially in Vienna, in Wien, which is the capital city of Austria, people say, well, I'd like a coffee with some Schlag, which basically means that they want to have like coffee with a bit of Schlagsahne in it. If I'm not, I guess I've heard that somewhere, but I might be totally off the track here. I don't know. I'm still learning, you know, I'm also learning something new, which is why I'm also enjoying making these videos. I'm linguistically interested and I love that.
Also in Deutschland isst man im Kino generell süßes Popcorn.
Ja.
Na, erkläre dich.
Ja, wenn du was Salziges willst, dann nimmst du halt Nachos.
Generell ist in Österreich salziges Popcorn so Standard.
Okay, so salty popcorn is the standard in Austria. I've actually never tasted salty popcorn because I don't, as he said actually, I don't think that it's actually offered here anywhere, like in my region at least. Maybe in bigger movies, like bigger cinemas. It might be, but other than that, I can't remember a place that would offer salty popcorn. Might taste interesting though, because I like salty things like salt pretzels and stuff. I eat that all day long, actually. So some cultural differences. And the thing I'm always asking myself when I hear something like this is, why is that? Why is there a difference in terms of the popcorn culture in Austria compared to Germany? There's gotta be a deeper reason for that, and I wanna find it out.
Was ist ein Zwutschkerl?
Before she's gonna say anything, it's Zwutschkerl. Zwutsch reminds me of Zwetschge, which is die Pflaume, like a different term for that. I mean, we do have the term der Kerl in German, which is the guy pretty much, the dude. But I think in this specific context, like in Austrian German, it rather works and functions as a suffix to terms, a minimizing suffix. I could be wrong though. So Zwutschkerl, or would it rather be Zwutschkerl? Like a Zwutschkerl. Like a little bit like a schwa sound at the end. A weak E, German E. Zwutschkerl. Zwutschkerl. I don't know. I have no idea.
Irgendwas Kleines.
Yeah.
Warum? Warum ist ein Zwutschkerl was Kleines?
Geil.
Yeah, she has the same idea. It's a minimizing form. But I don't know if it's true, so let's see.
Du bist ein Zwutschkerl.
Okay. She definitely is not a Pflaume.
Siehst du's denn?
Ein kleiner Mensch.
Okay, so it's a little person, ein kleiner Mensch, der Mensch, Singular, die Menschen, Plural, the human being. Zwutsch, I mean, it really has a funny sound to it, definitely, and a recognizable sound. Zwutsch.
Im Deutschen sagt man Chen, wenn irgendwas...
Stimmt immer, ja. In Österreich gibt es Brot.
Ja.
Das habt ihr auch, gell?
Das Brot, ja.
Genau, das normale Brot. Und dann gibt's die Semmel.
Das Brötchen.
Ja. Und dann gibt's das Weckerl.
Das Brötchen.
Ja, there you go. Ja, wie sollst du dich denn da auskennen?
It doesn't surprise me that there are so many different terms for rolls or buns. Das Brötchen. Brötchen might be the most common term of all of these and the most non-dialect based term, if that is a thing. When you go to Berlin, they are called different, and when you go to other parts of Germany, people say different things to rolls and buns. In my region, which is the Sauerland, lovely place by the way, it's usually das Brötchen, singular, die Brötchen, plural. And everyone knows what that is. Everywhere else in Germany, I'd say, and even, I guess in Austria, I don't know, people might know what a Brötchen is. But why does it have so many different terms for it? I mean, so, you know, it's cool. I really enjoy language or like linguistic diversity when it comes to stuff like that. But at the same time, it's quite confusing. And why? Maybe at some point in time there were people that came up with a distinct term for that object. And they each wanted to keep their own term that they coined. And that is how people came up with so many different terms for Brötchen. But you might have noticed a recurring phenomenon, which is the minimizing form.
Weckerl.
I don't know if it's an extremely common thing in Austrian German, but my tendency is and my feeling is, and I think that is pretty much more or less true. When it comes to most nouns and most expressions of nouns and objects in Austrian German, Austrians really have a way stronger tendency to use a minimized form as a standard form than Germans would actually do. I mean, we also have even some that we might not think about as a minimized form. For instance, das Mädchen, the girl. Das Mädchen is a minimized form of die Magd. And you wouldn't really use Magd anymore nowadays. It's pretty much an extinct term. But das Mädchen, the minimized form, became the standard form. But apart from that and a few other examples that I could come up with, I'd really say that Austrians really have a way stronger tendency to use minimized forms for usual terms, usual objects. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and Putzi, if you've watched this video, greetings to you. Really enjoy what you're doing. There is so much to learn and to check out, even as like a native German, when it comes to different varieties and dialects of German. I love that. I just love learning more about languages and how they work as keys to the world. And, well, keys that unlock doors to the world, pretty much, to culture and to expressing yourself. Even if I don't understand why something works the way it does or why something exists the way it does, doesn't mean that I'm not interested or fascinated by it. And that is totally the case here. So thanks for doing this video and thanks for watching this video, by the way. I'm your Vlog Dave. Tschüss und bis zum nächsten Mal.